What's up, man? Saturday again, and I'm back. It's Wesley, and I hope all the laborers out there have been working really hard. Hope you guys had a productive week this week thus far, and it's good to be at the weekend's point. Yeah. So today we're gonna be talking about growth, development, spiritual growth and development, maturity, if you will. Before I go into it, I want to talk about an area of maturity that we need to strive for, but we need to realize that we will never ever actually reach it. The area of maturity that I want to speak on right here is perfection. Okay, I need everybody to know, and I'm not trying to be condescending. I don't want to bust anybody's bubble, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I need everyone to understand it. Perfection is the area of maturity that we need to strive for, but understand we will never actually reach it. Now, and that's logical, that's reasonable, that's reasonable, that's just common sense, that's the way it's gonna be. Now, we do need to perfect things. We need to, like I say, strive for it. We need to practice, put things in application. Always learn from mistakes and never give up. We got to do that. But perfection is an area, or is the area of maturity that we will never reach. And that's cool, that's good. God understands that, and we need to understand that. So, okay. So moving forward, growth, development, conditioning. When we deal with certain conditions in our life, we don't understand at the time if we are immature spiritually. We don't understand why we're going through it. We don't even think we need to be going through it, or that we deserve to go through it. We feel like, and I'm saying these words, feel. We feel like, this is just not the right thing to do. The devil must have his hand in it. God, come down and change this right now. We don't want to deal with any form of pain. We don't want to deal with any form of hardship, because it's unnatural. It goes against natural, being natural, being able to walk around freely, being able to walk around with, nothing going on, no worry or no care. If we walked around with no care or no worry, we would never actually depend on God. We would never actually depend on Him. And that is something that, a creator will want the creation to do. You know what I'm saying? Because He loves us. He will want us to only rely on Him. But if we had no care or no worry in the world, we would never go to Him. We would never pray. And I'm speaking from experience, because when life is good and la-di-da-di-da-di-da, cupcakes, rainbows, whatever you want to call it, and everything is good, man, we can easily forget things that matter the most. So when we go through conditioning, and I can use the exercise example again. Anybody that ever tried out for a football or basketball team knows that there are, they have to practice. You got to go through conditioning. The body needs to feel pressure. It needs to feel stress. Muscles need to be tense. You got to go ahead on and be at a place physically to where when you actually are in a game and you have to use that muscle, you got to use that limb, you know what I'm saying? It'll already be used to it. Your body will already be used to it. So you can succeed while you're while you're playing your game. You and your team can, do well during that game because you guys have been conditioned for the game. That's why you have to practice. It's the same thing with life, folks. If we don't go through things, hardships, terrible disappointments, letdowns, terrible choices that we make, whatever the case may be, if we don't go through that type of thing, or actually not the terrible choices we make, but the consequences and the ramifications from the choices that we make, the poor choices that we make, If we don't feel them, there's no way that we're going to learn from that. There's no way that we're going to really condition or be conditioned for maturity or to get to a point where we're mature. So, like I said, if we're always supposed to be striving for perfection, that's the area of maturity that we want to get there. But we know we're never going to get there. But we need to be always mindful that we need to strive for that. A mature mind is going to already understand when a circumstance happens. Look, this is needed. Now, people say, what? Heartbreak? Why would heartbreak be needed? Why do I have to suffer from the loss of a loved one? Why do I have to be dumped by my girlfriend? Why do I have to deal with embarrassment or people picking on me? What? I'm not supposed to feel that. I don't want to feel that. If you never feel these things, if these things are never familiar to you, let's just say, I don't know, you go through life, you go all the way through school, right? Grade school, from kindergarten to 12th grade. You live in a small town and you just the cutest thing out. Everybody likes you, you're popular. You never felt embarrassed because in your little community, you're the ish. You're everything that someone would want. People want to be around you. You're just a beautiful, being, specimen, whatever you want to call it. Everybody looks up to you. No one looks down on you. You just had a great life. You were given things. People just babied you. It was amazing through the 12th grade. You go to college. I want to move out of this small town. I want to go to a big college, and you are already, in a sense, you've already been conditioned for a life of pampering, a life of just, people going to treat you right. You never had to deal with the harsh, cold, cruel world. Well, you get to college and everybody out there is beautiful. You are no longer the it thing. You are no longer God's gift to whatever. You are amongst the many. You might actually may not look as attractive as the people that you see. And you're going to begin to feel belittled. You're going to begin to feel inferior. And these are feelings that you've never felt before. So you're not prepared for it. At this point, you're willing to do whatever it takes to get that feeling of superiority back. That feeling of I'm important again, that significance. You want to feel that again. So you're willing to do whatever. You're not thinking anything through. You're making poor decisions. You're not prepared for life, in a sense. So you got to go through tough times. You got to go through embarrassment. You got to go through these little emotions. That's good for the heart. That's good for your spiritual development, and that's good for your maturity, your growth and maturity. So, like I said, growth and maturity. A lot of times people get discouraged. Okay, I make a bad mistake, and they just dwell on it. They just dwell on it and dwell on it and dwell on it. Look, you're gonna make mistakes. Like I said, it's okay to never actually reach perfection. You just want to strive for it. If you make a mistake, you learn from it. You gotta learn from it. You can soak in it for a moment, but you gotta move on. You gotta, look, back to the drawing board. Boom. All right, I learned this time, so I won't do this again. Boom. Dang, this mistake had terrible ramifications behind it. Terrible consequences. Boom. But look, you gotta bounce back. And this is not just for you all, this is for me. Because I got to a point where I was like, I'm not gonna go through school anymore. I made a terrible decision, and I don't think it's a point. I don't even see the point in getting my bachelor's degree. Well, no, that's a terrible mindset. I made a mistake, but look, I gotta keep pressing. I gotta keep going. You know what I'm saying? Great men in the Bible, great men and women in the Bible made terrible mistakes, but they are used in the Bible to learn from. Their stories are used to teach us, look, God was upset with them when they made that choice and when they made that decision or when they messed up. You know what I'm saying? David had an affair with one of his main soldiers' wife. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, but he wrote just about most of the Psalms in the Bible. He's a man known for going after God's heart. Peter say, I won't never deny you, God, but he denied him 3 times. But yet he is known for, you know, continuing to do God's work and being a laborer. You know what I'm saying? One of his, you know, right-hand men. He's known as being one of Jesus' right-hand men. Then you got Moses. He made excuses to God. God, I stutter, I can't talk. There's no way I can lead your people out of, you know, their captivity. But look, he's known as one of the greatest leaders in the Bible. But Judas betrayed God. He's known as a betrayer. The only difference between Judas and the other 3 people I mentioned is because he killed himself. He couldn't forgive himself. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't forgive himself, so he gave up. So we remember him from the act that he done, and then he gave up on it. He didn't want to try no more. We can't do that. We can't give up. We got to go through the conditions. We got to deal with our mistakes and deal with the consequences that become of them, and we got to learn from them, and we got to press forward. You know, that's what God wants us to do. He gave us this mind, man. He gave us a mind to learn, man. A sponge to learn, soak up so much information, even the things that we do wrong, so we can do better next time, man. Every heartbeat is a second chance to do better. So, with that being said, growth, development, conditioning, we have to endure. We gotta go through things. We gotta have disappointments in life. We gotta live with the choices we make. We have to learn to live with them, or else we're gonna kill ourselves, and then that's what we're gonna be remembered by. Not, oh, you know what? He messed up, man. Wesson messed up, but he got back on track. I thank God he got back on track, and now he's a great person for the things he does. You know what I'm saying? He affects many lives from the things that he say in these videos, and he didn't give up when he messed up his life and thought he wasn't supposed to do college. And now that he didn't put it on Facebook and say he got to do college, now he really got to go forth with what he said, because now people gonna remind him, look, back on what was it, January 11th, you said you want to finish college. January 11th, 2014. So what you gonna do? How you gonna act? Right. Hold me accountable. That's what we do. That's what a true friend would do. That's what a person that, you know, is in my life for the right reason, have things in my best interest. That's what they would do. And I hope that everyone out there does that. You know what I'm saying? For someone, for me, for yourself. Be accountable and hold others accountable. That's what we're here for, to strengthen each other. This was a great topic. Thank y'all for listening. God bless you, and I'll see you guys next week. Appreciate it.